Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So obviously, yeah, the market is having a slight pullback, as I did expect from yesterday. If you guys did watch my video from yesterday, on the 24-hour span, there's not much green at all within this market. It has basically, been wiped away. On the 7-day span, we are still seeing some altcoins, holding their value, but it's nothing like too crazy, to be completely honest with you guys. We do know that HBAR is like near the bottom down here. Let me see if I could find it. I just recently seen it, so there it is, down about 8%. It's still kind of within the range on a lot of other altcoins. It is a little bit more oversold than most, but like comparing it to like even like the graph, it's within the same range. Trading volume is down about like 33%. And yeah, to me, I think that when we look at HBAR, I know that a lot of people have been calling for like a 2 to 3 cent HBAR, a 4 to 5 cent HBAR. Like I have been waiting for 4 to 5 cents. I'm waiting patiently. I still have a lot of my buy orders in place, but I have been averaging in between roughly the 6 to like 6.5 cent region. So I'm hoping to see that region test it yet again. In the last 7 days, we have been seeing that area being, tested quite a bit. And then we did see that nice little breakout point that we just recently seen. And of course, now the market is kind of taking that away, which is also why I always say, like, if you did take like short trades here and you're up like a major amount, why not take profit? And I seen that being a major thing on Twitter just earlier. Like a lot of people were saying, like, the bottom is in on Bitcoin, like we're going to the moon, blah, blah, blah. Like I've seen it so much to the point where I was just like, all right, yeah, the bottom's definitely not in my opinion. So we don't know if it is or not. I just kind of play against like emotions and play against the market. Am I going to, not buy because I don't think that the bottom's in or anything like that? No, absolutely not. I do think that it would be idiotic to not, average in here and there on a lot of these altcoins, as they are still down massively. So with that being said, let's move on and let's talk about a few things. So we do see here Hedera review by Web3 Reviews. HBAR received a high review score of 4.7 out of 5. And I just want to ask you guys, if I had to tell you to rate HBAR 1 to 10, what would you give HBAR? I'm just curious on what you guys, would give it. Comment down below what you would give it in terms of that rating. And we do see here, Hedera is a fully open source proof of stake public network and governing body for building and deploying dApps. We do see predictable fees, super fast, carbon negative. Then we do see down here super fast, obtain quick, low latency transactions with finality assurance in a matter of seconds rather than minutes or hours. Hedera is significantly quicker than, competing blockchain technologies, HBAR. Hedera 10,000 plus transactions per second, Ethereum 12 plus transactions per second, Bitcoin 3 plus transactions per second. Predictable, fees as well. The Hedera Governing Council determines the pricing schedule, which is always expressed in USD and makes it simple to calculate the cost of each API request. And of course, we do see down here carbon negative, which we've seen it so many times. And of course, yes, Visa is right here between Hedera and Algorand, for example. But we do see Hedera has made environmental sustainability one of the fundamental values of its consensus mechanism. Hedera buys carbon offsets on a quarterly basis specified by, TerraPass, a third-party assessment provider. UCL Research finds HBAR the greenest proof-of-stake network. And last but not least, we do see them, saying that they received a 4.7 out of 5. The most popular enterprise-grade public network HBAR allows you to customize your digital life to be wholly yours. And yeah, I think that when we really kind of look at the technology, when we kind of see it like this is a lot of the things that we have known about Hedera for the longest time. Especially if you guys have been watching my channel, you would know about the technology and like how major of a opportunity it is to invest into something like this. But also, like, when we look at Hedera and we really kind of just look at, like, the base points of Hedera, I think that this is just kind of, and this doesn't go for anybody, by the way. Like, I understand that it's hard to kind of put it into, like, tweets, but it's underwhelming compared to what we actually do see behind the doors of, Hedera. And I do think that long term, we will see a lot more people realize this. Like, the Smart Contracts 2.0 is a groundbreaking innovation to the space. But also, we do see over here from Coinman, the HBAR Barbarian, like I've always said, go check him out on Twitter. Incredible individual around like the HBAR scene. But we do see AVC Global saw no existing mechanism of trust in place to ensure the reliable movement of drugs from the manufacturer all the way through the supply chain to the patients that needed them. Their value chain platform now uses Hedera. And yeah, so this is actually pretty big. Now we're going to be breaking this down and really kind of talking about it. I do want to address a few things around this actually as well. But first, let's just dive into this. So we do see AVC Global offers a next-generation intelligent supply chain platform that maximizes efficiencies, eliminates fraud, and ensures the quality of goods, delivering total protection from producers to consumers. And of course, we do see that down here, 10 to 30% elimination of volume of counterfeit pharma, reaching the market, 3% of increase in revenues through redistributable pharmaceuticals. Sorry. 100,000 verified blockchain transactions per year through HCS. Now, I know that this isn't something special. Like, this is only 100,000 transactions per year, which really is not much at all when you take into accountability like the transaction fee on Hedera. But it is still a volume driver within the sector, so you like to see that. Now we do see down here, AVC is the first GS1 compatible blockchain-enabled track and trace platform that provides end-to-end traceability and full transparency in the supply chain of goods. The AVC platform succeeds at reducing fraud and optimizing trade finance and customs clearance throughout global supply chains. And we do see their challenge here, in an effort to support the need for transparency and security in the pharmaceutical supply chain and combat the threat of fraud and counterfeit goods. AVC demanded a distributed ledger that offered high throughput encrypted content and also trusted timestamps with ordering, fast finality, immutability, and an auditable of events. Since AVC works with governments around the globe, they also needed a public ledger with a transparent governance structure. And of course, they do, say down here that they chose Hedera because, of course, the fast, fair, and secure consensus at a lower cost than any other public, DLT or DLN. But yeah, I think that this is actually going to be a fairly large, partnership. Again, like pharmaceuticals on Hedera has been like an area to focus on from, like the jump. Like we've talked about this with, I think it was Accor as well. There's a lot of healthcare specific use cases on Hedera already, and I think that this is going to be a large one just because of the background behind AVC, but also where they are positioned. So let's actually go over to their website and let's look at this. So here we have their Explore page. This gives us a little bit of an insight on basically where they are focused on. So first off, we do see the Smart Hub. The Smart Hub fully delivers on all elements of the AVC global technology stack, serialized, track and trace, IoT sensors, smart pass, smart contracts for compliance, and fast-tracked government clearances, fintech for supply chain finance, and also cross-border payments, all on an immutable hyperledger blockchain with auditable consensus and governance powered by Hedera Hashgraph. Now, I think that this is great because this is not only one of the many use cases, but this is actually focused on track and trace IoT as well. These are two areas that we have been watching for closely, but this is also built for, of course, governments as well. And it is surrounded by the supply chain finance and cross-border payment sector, which are very large areas to focus on, which I've discussed with like XDC and even like XRP. And down here, we do see a few of the important components of Smart Hub are as follows. Authentication, smart workflow, blockchain data analytics, secure storage, smart contract, IoT data import / storage / export, automatic electronic data exchange as well. And here is, Smart Hub, in a nutshell. You guys can definitely read a little bit more about this, but there's just so much here to actually look into. I don't want to, go over it all together because it would just be a ton of me just kind of reading what's on the screen. And in fact, we could just kind of leave it there. You guys could pause it and you could read over it. It's a pretty substantial use case in itself. And then we also do see Smart Pass as well. Now, this is going to be the core component of the AVC MVC platform. It's the ecosystem of smart pass-enabled technologies and processes that enable our supply chain networks to maintain trusted ground truth as the material moves through the AVC MVC powered supply chain. And I don't know, I think that might be a typo there, but yeah. But this is also trusted digital documents and event store that persist for the full time of the transaction and beyond, from the manufacturer to the consumer or patient in the case of MVC. And here you guys have the Smart Pass is and enables And this is where track and trace for like supply chain finance and banks comes into place. Like this is so much bigger than just pharmaceuticals alone. Like this is actually pretty substantial. Like I said, this is like start to finish shipping documents required by customs clearing agents, 3PLs, electronic system for records of shipping documents trusted and used by the Digital Express. And then of course like it goes on and on around like documents in general. Again, remember like I talked about a lot of this stuff with XDC as well. Like we'll see these documents being fully digitized because again it kind of plays right into like sustainability. And we do see like a few of the quotes down here from like Kariba. I hope that I'm saying that right. But this is like one of their partners. And they have quite a bit of other partners as well. But we do see that these two combined does and enables a ton of things around like digital payments, industry-specific payment best practices by implementing the following: reverse factoring, dynamic discounting, increase the rate of payments to suppliers, and so much more. This is a giant if you actually think about it. Like this is their platform. These are the three ones: Value Chain Finance, Smart Pass, Smart Hub, and it's powered by Amazon Web Services, Hedera Hashgraph, Hyperledger Fabric, Kariba, and RFXL. Now, over here, we could actually kind of see this. So this is around physical, digital, and financial supply chains. And yes, it is focused on like pharmaceuticals as well, but I do suspect that this is actually going to be much larger than it. We actually do see down here that it is a cloud-based applications, ERP, system-to-system integrations, track and trace, fintech systems, and blockchain. The platform is designed to reduce risk, speed, cash flows, and increase profit margins, and grow revenue for all participants. And we do see down here like supply chains that, or the way they were meant to be. And again, like while the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic decimates physical and financial supply chains worldwide, a new generation technology platform is emerging to address critical inefficiencies of paper-based and siloed systems. And here is the blockchain certified track and trace IoT triggered smart contracts for trust and compliance, rapid government, customs clearance, and better supply chain finance. Like this is a huge innovation. Remember, like we've talked about the supply chain issues. They are a plague right now. It's also causing a lot of issues around like food prices and stuff like that, which again, supply chain definitely needs to be streamlined. We need some sort of digitization within that area to push it into the modern age. There's many issues around it. We've discussed that as well with like Zinfin. And I do suspect that that will be fully disrupted within like the next, like I would say 2 to 3 years, give or take. And we do see down here our strategic partners. RFXL, founded in 2003, is the first company to focus on the safety of the pharmaceutical supply chain and bring advanced track and trace software to manufacturers, repackagers, wholesalers, distributors, and dispensers. And yeah, I mean, like Hedera is like the number one choice for this because of its track and trace mechanism, but also like security as well. And they do mention that over here. But we also do see like Kariba, which I'm probably butchering it. If I am, I'm sorry. It might be Kariba. I don't know. It empowers CFOs and their teams to transform how they activate liquidity as a dynamic real-time vehicle for growth and value creation, while also protecting against financial risk. And then, of course, MVC, Medical Value Chain. Now, this is a company in Bahrain, which is also founded by a few of the members from this team. By the way, you guys can see that. So it's actually over on this page. You can see the entire team down here. Leo and David, I actually looked into both of their backgrounds. They actually come from a substantial background, or I should say more so Leo. David only has, I think, like 2, and they are from like AVC. But Leo has direct connections to like government bodies and also like the Senate. I didn't really kind of look into other, individuals within this, but I'm sure that they are also substantial. And I do think that this is going to be a fairly large use case. But of course, we do see over here, it's all about ensuring product integrity and public safety throughout the pharmaceutical and medical supply chain. MVC is a strategic partnership between AVC Global, RFXL Corporation, and I think that this is Shika. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to pronounce all of this. I'll probably butcher it fully. So. But anyways, yeah, very large use case in itself. I know that this kind of took up the entire video, but I really think that this is probably one of the most, I would say, valuable use cases that we've seen announced in the last few weeks or so. I'm very excited for AVC to go fully live. I know that like this is 100,000 blockchain transactions per year, but I think that we could actually bump those numbers up. I think that those are rookie numbers. Did you guys get the quote? But no, seriously, I think that these are numbers that we could definitely not only expand on, but also streamline and scale. which I do look forward to. And of course, they do have one last quote here. AVC Global's value chain platform is anchored by the Hedera consensus service to not only exceed our requirements for high throughput encrypted content, trusted timestamps, and ordering and fast finality, but also does so at a global scale. So this is focused on globalization. And yeah, I think that this is great. Around pharmaceuticals, I also do think that Neuron is one to watch for as well. You guys know me. I've loved this use case for such a long time. I almost talk about it on a day-to-day basis now with Hedera. But the reason why I bring this back up is because, of course, we do have MediDrone, which, again, like the reason why Hedera has been chosen for a lot of this is because of its track and trace mechanism, but also the security. Like it needs... Like we need the highest grade of security around a lot of this stuff, and this is of course like improving distribution, reducing transmission, saving lives. This is going to deliver like medicines to like individuals as well and pharmaceuticals. So I would say, and this goes back like over a year now. I remember making a video on it actually at the time, but I was like, Hedera is becoming a pharmaceutical giant, and I would say that they are. Like they're disrupting. It's hard to keep up with all of the industries that Hedera has been disrupting. Like, this is probably one of the most substantial networks to date that is not, like, extremely expensive to jump into. Because remember, we've talked about Hedera many times in the past, compared to, like, other, networks that are in, like, the 50 cent to $1 plus range, which means that, like, not a lot of individuals can get a ton of those tokens. But HBAR is severely undervalued, and it's actually very affordable at this current moment in time. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As those up to you all, have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.